Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
What's up, friends? Welcome back to the TV Terminal. My name is Adam Bill, senior editor over at the Koalition.com.
And my name is Superman, my name is Lawrence, aka a punk with toys on all the socials.
There you go. Oh, and we are back with Marshals, season 1, episode 2, Zone of Death. This is the best show ever. This is the best episode of all time. If you remember Yellowstone, 1888, 1923, delete all of that from your mind. This is Marshals. This is the best. No, that's not true. None of that's true. But
it's a different type of show.
Different type of show, people. There's a lot of back and forth. We've seen it all over. Rotten Tomato, all over. People are divided, right? You got people that you're a hardcore Taylor Sheridan fan. We love him, right? But he isn't the main guy in this one. He is an executive producer. This is not his project. So a lot of comments, people blaming Taylor for all this. Don't blame Taylor for this, okay? It's the people behind SWAT that are working on this one, which is why it feels the way it does. Now, I knew going into this, and I think you also, we figured that this was going to be a different type of show. You know, Marshals. It's going to be more action-based. I wasn't expecting all the drama that we got in the other ones, Yellowstone and stuff like that. But apparently a lot of people were expecting more of that. And, oh, boy, up in arms also that Monica was killed off camera. I hate that. We saw a lot of that in other shows. Walking Dead was infamous for that. I hate it. You know,
well, so it's had a lot, but there has been a huge time lapse from the last episode of Yellowstone. So it's not like, hey, they went right into it. They went, they didn't go right into the spinoff. So I can understand why it was done like that, but at the same time, I wish they would have been able to keep that character.
Yeah. So I get it. A lot of people are upset, but you know, let's see where this goes, people. Let's see, because we do have other shows that are coming within the Yellowstone universe, right? The Madisons. Yeah. That's with Michelle Pfeiffer. That's the thing that's happening. We will see.
I wonder how that's going to work, because it doesn't seem to have anything to do with Yellowstone. It's just in the universe. I mean, I guess we'll see later on.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll definitely see with this, like you talked about, the guy that studied SWAT, he's the one that's writing it, and you can feel that. And basically take your CBS, CSI,
NCIS. I've never watched that show.
So you're looking at that, and they're placing it in the Yellowstone universe. So you're not getting cowboys, and you're going to be on the res at times, and basically they're marshals. And again, I've enjoyed both episodes, but I don't want a shooter show. We had SEAL Team to watch, for that, and I really like SEAL Team, but I don't want a mission every single episode. And I hope we don't get it. I hope there is more storytelling to it.
I don't know, man. I don't know. We'll have to see. There's 13 episodes of this one. This is a longer one, so we'll see. Let's just get into this.
Everybody. But remember this. This is on CBS, and this is the type of show that CBS. That's the type of show that CBS puts on. They're not only the serialized show.
Yeah. So we will see, people, and I'm sure we'll hear a lot of it in the comments. You're still covering this garbage, It's like,
and here's what I'm going to say: if you don't like it, then don't watch it. I mean, it's really.
Oh, there's going to be hate watchers. I believe that this show will have hate watchers that just want to just see where it goes, or they won't, and they'll just check out the channels like us, that are covering shows, and then just say, hey, I'm not going to give them, my viewers, my attention, but let me just hear what's going on. Am I missing out? Probably not, but they do make some calls to Yellowstone and to some characters in Yellowstone, which makes me wonder, are we going to see some guest appearances in this one? We could definitely see that. We might, right? So you know what? Let's get into it. Right. So it starts off, we got Kayce and Tate. They're working at the ranch on his side. They got a wild stallion, and they're trying to figure out what to do with this. But then it quickly cuts. It's like, let's just go fishing. You want to? let's go fishing. All right. So they go fishing. Then afterwards, I guess they clean it up and poof, they're ready. They're out there just, making their meal, having a good old time. Life is good.
And they do not a really good job, but they do a job of basically saying, "Hey, to new beginnings."
To new beginnings.
And they're foreshadowing, telling you, "Hey, this is no longer Yellowstone. There will be callbacks to Yellowstone, but this is a different type of show."
Yeah, which is interesting with Fallout because I don't know what Tate's new beginning is, because we know that his dad is off to be a marshal start tomorrow, because he was telling him, he's like, "Oh, you ready?" "Oh, yeah, probably a lot of paperwork. It'll be boring." But he says he needs a new beginning and that he's going to do a new beginning. I don't know what that means. Did he say he was going away to college? Is he leaving the ranch? But he does bring up a part where he's like, "Well, if you're not here to work this area, like, well, what am I going to do? What's going to?" And then I took this order because this was important.
You sure you're ready for this change?
A new start will do us both good. But who's gonna look over East Camp with you working?
Rip found some hands so I can find a more permanent solution.
Rip found some hands. There we go. We got a call up for your favorite character. Go ahead, Lawrence. Tell them about how much you love Rip. You love Rip.
I don't think Rip is a good person.
Nice.
And again, people love Rip, but I'm sorry, he's just not a good person if you actually watch Yellowstone.
Yeah, he's done some bad things. And I remember watching, and I thought he was going to be the one to kill John Dutton. I was like, "Oh, he's going to be evil. This is it. There's going to be some crazy." But it didn't turn out that way.
Would have been awful. That would have just been awful.
It would have been awful. It didn't happen, but I just wanted to get that audio because if some people missed it, or if, like I said, if not even watching, and they're like, "Oh yeah, these fools talk about it. I'm not watching this."
There's a lot of spin-offs over the creation of spin-offs where they don't acknowledge where it came from, and I think that's wrong, right? Like you have to acknowledge where you came from, and this is. You're still basically living on the Yellowstone. His ranch was on the Yellowstone, so.
Well, yeah. Who knows? We might get a lot of this off camera, just referencing, "Oh, who are you on the phone?" "I was on the phone with Beth. You know how she's doing." You know what I mean? We could get a lot of that.
And that's what.
And never see them on camera.
People, I think, when they see a spinoff or something that's in the same universe, they just want a quick callback. They don't need the special appearance every single week. They just want a quick callback that, hey, you're not forgetting, and there is stuff going on in whatever world that they're living in. So.
Yeah. Oh well. We see Cal and the rest of the team hanging out at their favorite spot. It's a bar. This reminds me, every time I see this bar, and it pops up twice in this episode, right? It reminds me of Tulsa King. Because remember, whenever there was a meeting or anything happened, they did it back at the bar over there, and then there was always a live act or somebody. Remember, Jelly Roll popped up on one of the episodes, So who knows? Maybe the girl at the end of this episode, right?
I would not have known who Jelly Roll is. All right.
Oh, see, I only know because I watch wrestling, and he popped up on it, and I'm like, oh, and then my son who keeps up with all this stuff is like, oh, that's Jelly Roll. I'm like, who? And it's like, there we go. And that was a funny call up with the Tulsa King, because even Stallone, his character Dwight, didn't know who he was. "Are you a bouncer?" Like, "No, I'm entertainment." "Oh, really? You're so big. Oh, look at you." But anyway, back to this. They're at the bar. They show this one, and I'm still not sure where this is going. I have a feeling it's end up in a dark place, but that's just me within this universe. And again, Taylor's not writing this, but the whole thing with Andrea, right? That a guy sees her, says, "Hey," gives her a little flirty one-liner. She's not buying it. She talks about, "I can either mace you," and she takes out a knife or cut you. I was like, whoa, come on now. He wasn't aggressive with her, but they bring this up, and I'm like, okay, there's got to be more to it, because then she sits down. Cal's there, like, "You gotta be nice to the locals. You gotta be nice to this whole thing." Like, no. Another guy comes over. "Can I buy you a drink for my bud?" No. F off. There goes that. I don't know. I feel like there's more to that, and that'll come later down the road, because we see that she starts something up with this guy.
I feel like they're trying really hard, so we know that she does not want to be here. She does not fit in, nor is she even going to try. That's kind of like the feeling.
Like, falling in love, is that's gonna do it? It's gonna pull her in. It's like, "Oh, I fell in love with a cowboy."
Yeah.
No, I don't know. But then there's a girl that the bartender comes over. She's a little flirty with Cal, so there's a relationship going on there. We got Miles. Everyone's hanging up there now. That Mile is Dust Cloud. I wish they would just call him Dust Cloud. I like that name. That was his native name. That's a cool name, but no, he's just Miles. So, man, that sucks. But anyway, they start talking about the whole thing with bringing in Kayce. Right? Why'd you bring him? Oh, he's good. I don't know. I feel like the questioning, the constant questioning about Kayce just shows that there's going to be some conflict because Casey's part of the team. We already know that with Andrea, right? That whole thing. We know Harry, he brought it up in the last episode, even more so in this episode, especially with Andrea.
So this is okay. So the whole Kayce thing is one of those things where you're like, all right, why did you bring him in? Okay, first off, he served with them as a Navy SEAL, and that is one of the top special forces in the U.S. Plus, they are based out of, Montana.
Yeah.
So he knows the area. He knows all of this. Why wouldn't you bring on someone like this? He's also been in law enforcement. Now, again, they can say whatever they want. Going back to the Duttons having issues, the Duttons they never really got in trouble for this stuff.
No. But it's going to come up. A lot of stuff, I think, is going to come up. You brought it up before we started recording. And for those who don't know, right, because we got some questions also, how this works is we watch it, we take our notes, and then we just jump in and we talk about it, just like you would with any of your other people. You're hanging out, you watch something. Hey, what did you think of that? I don't know. It sucked. I'm on my way out. Well, this is it. We're just talking. We're sharing it with you guys. So if you're wondering, this is all in one take. We don't edit. We don't clean it. We don't say, oh, did you say this word? Oh, let's cut that out. Can't let people hear that. No, we don't do that. You're getting it raw right here. So, yeah. Oh, yeah. See, there you go. Some people would cut that out. I know. I'm not doing it. I could do it. I'm not doing it. All right. So we see here in the image, if you're watching, you see Cal show up at the ranch. You got Kayce over there showing that he still got his skills with his 6-shooter, though, right? He's shooting. He's hitting his targets. They're talking about this. And Cal is telling him, you need this in your life. This whole thing with being a marshal, this is going to be good for you. Really? I don't know. I think if you remember from Yellowstone, Kayce was trying to get away from all this. He just finished killing a bunch of people.
He was trying to get away from the ranch, but he went on to the Livestock Commission, which I still don't fully understand what the Livestock Commission is. But it is something.
It was a job.
Law enforcement.
They needed him. They needed him with a badge.
So now he's doing the whole marshal service. And again, he's already been part of law enforcement, so it just fits. But they're sitting here and they're talking, and to me, what they're really doing is they're showcasing that this is why not only do they have a close relationship, but Kayce still was a better sailor or special forces than Cal. He's by far the best person on the team, and you're seeing that no matter how you look at it, he's a leader, which I don't think that he was shown off that way in Yellowstone till the end.
Yeah, no, we didn't get too much of that backstory, and who knows? You brought it up in when we were talking about the first episode when they had that opening scene where it was like a flashback when he was serving time with Cal and they were doing this stuff. Maybe we might get more of that, and it'll just go back and forth just to show, but or maybe not. Maybe.
I don't want the phone ringing. I don't need Monica.
You don't need the phone. She's calling from every, exactly. Well, that's what I was saying. It's she gets. Who knows if this gets? I don't know if it picks up steam, and then we get a second season. Yeah, I could see her popping up maybe like a Harry situation from Dexter, where she's just there in the background talking to him, or like the phone ringing, he picks up, and it's like, oh, Monica, why are you calling me?
So normally I would say that's stupid, but within Native American culture, that is something they could definitely.
It's possible. Into. It's all possible.
So if it's written properly because of the Native American culture and how he's accepted that into his life, I could see them doing something like that. But we get the credits, and then we jump right into the Marshals talking about Miles talking about basically hazing.
Yeah, hazing him. You got Andrea boxing. Where are they? Is this like another part of the HQ that's like a dark gym? Because I
feel like this is like their safe house and where they're all. I guess because remember, none of them live there.
Yeah, exactly. No one lives. They don't live there. And later on, he gets another tour, right? for the HQ, which used to
Right.
be in Old Mills. But this area, I don't know.
I was confused on like, is it all part of the same? Because
Mhm.
that was more of their team. You know, not the
Yeah.
active
Mhm.
team, not the
Yeah,
team
yeah,
that
yeah,
goes in,
yeah.
but that was still more of their team. But we do get like Miles talking about wanting to haze and all this other stuff, and I kind of was like, wait a minute. First off, this guy knows the land better than you do, and you grew up and you were a police officer on the res.
Yeah.
He's a Navy SEAL, right? And I do like the fact that all through Yellowstone, they didn't press on the, oh, he's a Navy SEAL. Like that's just his
No, no,
backstory.
no.
And
Yeah.
I don't feel like they're really doing it so much here either. I think Cal seems to be more about the I was a Navy SEAL and telling stories more than Kayce.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Um, and then we find out like, Belle is just kind of like, why can't we just accept them? Like,
Yeah.
why do we
Yeah.
have to do it?
Well, why are we going through all this? Yeah, they show them where their stuff is. They go into what they call the cages, the locker room. What are you talking about? This is if you've ever been to a gym, we know how this works. And
Exactly.
he notices that she doesn't have anything. She's like, I'm not sticking around here. I'm going back to
Yeah.
the Bronx, South
Very
Bronx.
very SEAL team with the different cages and having their own cages and different things like that, which was another CBS show. So again, you kind of see
Yeah.
some things mingling. Um,
Um,
but it is kind of funny because he does try and haze. And it might be later on, but he does try and
See?
haze him, and Kayce just kind of looks at him about like loading up the magazines, and
That was right there. Yeah, it was in the
yeah,
locker room area. It
and
was
he just kind of looks at
amazing.
him and
Yeah,
no, like yeah, I'm not,
no.
I'm not some 21-year-old, some 22-year-old kid walking
Exactly.
into this.
No. Then we get another scene where we have Cal meeting up with Harry. That's the big boss.
Okay, so where is
Hmm.
this at? Because
That's what I'm saying. It's got to be the other side. They have to be within that gym. Has to be part
but
of.
he specifically makes a comment about having to go there. Like, hey, we didn't need to have this conversation face to face. Why am I here?
You're right.
So, I mean, if it's just on the other side of the house or the mill, like that's not
Yeah,
really going
I
out
don't
of
know.
your way. I
Yeah,
was confused
yeah.
with that.
Yeah, we would need to see outside. Where is this place? But Harry's suspicious. Now he's planting his seeds so we can tag along for the story. This is going to
Yeah.
be the issue. He doesn't trust Kayce because of the Dutton and his family. And he's like, oh, there's still that case going on with Jamie. Where's Jamie? You know what I mean? Where's all the stuff that's going on? We don't trust him. Why all of a sudden he decides he wants to be a marshal? This is where Cal was like, well, it's a coincidence. Nobody, you offered him the job.
Yeah,
You showed up at his house. Why don't you bring that up?
that was
That bothered me.
Yeah, that was a quick explanation of, hey, I went to him
Yeah.
because we need to know, the lay of this land here.
Mm-hmm.
No
Looking for
one
two
knows the lay of
guys
the
and
land.
some cabin. Didn't know how to get there.
I already know that this guy, he knows how to be in a firefight. Now, I'm sorry, when I think of marshals, I don't think of firefights, but we clearly see this is going to be a different type of team. And Kayce even makes a comment about it. So
Yeah. So, you know what? It has to be around the same era because the next scene is Kayce getting the tour of the proper HQ.
yes,
Right?
yeah.
They have to be there. And the
And this is
lighting
where we
seems the
see,
same. Everything. It has to be.
yeah,
It
this
has
is
to
where we
be.
see there's more of the team. These are just
Mhm.
the on-site guys. These 5 who we're obviously going to focus on, but there's also people
Oh,
that
yeah.
have to, radio into them, that are
Yeah.
doing intel,
Mhm,
different things like
mhm.
that.
Yeah, and while they're doing all this stuff, then Kayce walks in and was like, oh, we got a job. The feds are looking for was it a 406 royal member? It's like a gang, it's a Latin gang.
Yeah.
And that they're doing something with fentanyl and drugs and all this stuff. And we already got a hit on one of the guys. He's over in this Trailer Park area. So we're gonna go and hit that spot up.
And of
And I was
course,
like,
they're part of
oh,
the Aryan Nation.
right. And did that come up yet? I think so.
I don't know,
it
but
did.
we've always got to be the Aryan Nation.
No, it comes up after that. It comes up after that because we didn't know yet. We find out when they interrogate, when Andrea interrogates the guy. That's when they find out why he's there. But they were like, "Oh, okay, so let's head down there." And then they go, and then some of this is kind of comical because there's a part here where Bell says that let me go up front because he was like they're setting things in motion, like positioning. Cal being the boss, and was like, all right, we got Miles. Miles says he'll watch Kayce, which is funny because Miles has never killed anyone, so it's like they don't know how many suspects are there. They know that the guy that they're looking for is there, but he could be with a bunch of buddies. They don't know.
Yeah.
And this. But anyways, he's gonna watch him. So he splits off. Everyone gets in position. They go down. But it's the three of Andrea, Cal, and Bell, and then they storm in the front, and then it's all chaos. They're attacking, they're shooting, they're handcuffing. It's the one guy's trying to close.
Actually, there's no shooting.
I felt like I heard a gunshot. Maybe it's just it's probably the door banging. A
A
lot of door banging.
Yes, there's a lot of door banging, a lot of running.
Oh, yeah.
Remember the whole reason why he was going to hold Belle back was because she got shot. Now she got shot with the bulletproof vest, but I've talked to people before, and you probably heard stories on the internet, whatever. They're like, yeah, when you get shot with a bulletproof vest, it can still break ribs. It goes.
Oh yeah. Depending on the range and the distance, yeah, absolutely.
So.
It looks like there was a guy who was about to make it out the window. You see that Kayce's ready, so is Miles, but no, Andrew pulls him in. They cuff him up. They're good. But somebody you see just walking around doesn't really react. This person gets in their truck and is about to drive off. I don't know if this would be the time to get out if I see all this stuff going on. I probably would just wait until it's done because you don't want the confusion of what we sort of saw here, where he's getting in the truck and then Kayce picks up his arm and is pointing downrange, getting ready to drop him. And then Cal's like, wait, it's not a battleground. This is it. That's just a civilian that just lives here. Remember, we're in a trailer park area.
Now, again, there's a couple of things here. First off, Kayce has been out of being in the Navy
go.
For quite some time. Also, you said this. He said, "Hey, we're in Montana, not on the battlefield." Kayce has been back on the ranch for quite some time. This, and again, we do understand why he's so distant in this and what he's so worried about. They have to. Where they're going to be going, they have to cover some of the secrets of Yellowstone rather than just act like they don't exist.
Well, yeah, we'll get it. But
I still think there's going to be something with that guy.
I just don't this whole thing of for Kayce to react that way. We already know, like you said, we've seen 5 seasons. He's not new. It's not like he just came out of the service and now is like having issues making that adjustment back to civilian life and then getting back into law enforcement. No, we just saw him running around shooting, doing all that stuff in Yellowstone. He knows how to turn that on and off.
And I think a lot of this, and we discussed this while watching it, I think a lot of this has to do with like, hey, there are people coming in watching this that don't know the Yellowstone, which would be shocking that you're tuning into this. But it is called Marshals. People see Marshals. They think it's going to be something like, SEAL team or SWAT, different things like that. So I feel like they feel the need to discuss it. I feel like if this was something Taylor Sheridan did, he wouldn't discuss it. Hey, you should have already been watching the rest of the shows.
Yeah.
But that's what we're going to get.
Yeah, there goes that. They get back to HQ. They start talking about all this stuff, what's going on. Cal is saying, wait a minute, I got to go. I got a call and it's important. Andrew's already cracking jokes, all because you didn't get to bust down the door. Now you want to go and leave. And it's like, what's happening here? Already throwing it.
I don't trust Andrea.
Yeah.
Andrea from 90210. I've been watching that with my daughter. I don't trust her.
No, don't trust her.
She wants to get out so bad, and I feel like
she's gonna do something. She's gonna figure something out, and then it gets into this episode. So then, as we keep going, we got Kayce. Now he shows up on the ranch with Cal, and we see what the emergency call is. Well, we know it's the horse, the wild stallion. It broke through its fencing, and now it's just roaming the land, just jumping around and screaming up and stuff. Cal is still shocked that he's even here. And he was like, I can't believe you lived this life. And he's like, well, you know what to do. No, I'm just winging it. That's a lie. You don't tell me you just wing it. You've been doing it on Yellowstone. You've been breaking in horses and cattle and other things. It's like little things like that irk me. It's like, is he purposely playing dumb? Like, is he doing this right?
Yeah, like even I mean, to me, I feel like as an actor, you'd be like, wait a minute, he would know, like, hey, I've done this 100 times before, or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah, yeah. No.
Or he could have easily said, hey, you know what? I'm just winging it. It's what my dad taught me how to do it,
Yeah,
right? Like
yeah,
that would have
yeah,
been
yeah.
like, hey, this is how we always handle it. Like we have a
Mhm.
way, but we don't have a full plan because it goes awry. And basically, he wrangles in the stallion, and
Yeah,
that's that.
that's it, and it's done. He wrangles up the stallion, and that's it. We don't even see Tate in this scene. We don't even see any of these hired hands that were sent over from Rip. It's just
Well,
that's
he
it.
didn't say when they were coming. He just said that he.
Yeah. Well, I'm assuming it was Tate that called him, that told him about this, but we don't even see Tate in here.
Oh, that is true. Someone had to call him about. That's right. Someone had to call him about.
That's what I'm saying. He got the call. So they head back to the base, and this is where Harry's there, and we find out that Andrea, she interrogated one of the guys that they captured and got all the dirt, right? So this is where we find out that the Aryans are supplying some drugs with the
No.
with the fentanyl over with the Royals, and that they're working together. And then Cal's not surprised. He's like, when money talks, they all work together on these things, right? So whatever. And that there's a big meeting that's about to take place, right? And where's this meeting? This is happening. We know this. This is Zone of the Death, right? Now, did you get an idea of what they were talking about once they got into this? Did it trigger?
No, well, not when I read it, but as soon as they said it, I went, "Oh, I know where it is."
All right, let's go with it.
Just over the Wyoming border, a place called the Zone of Death. I don't know, apparently it got its name because there's no citizens, no law enforcement, no judges or juries, so there's no way to prosecute crimes.
The local legend has been a dumping ground for the region's most depraved criminals.
There is no way that's real.
And once he said this, and then they could have left it, but then Harry looks over and says, "Come on, Kayce, the Duttons must know everything about this." And that right there was another little nudge. If you weren't sure about what they were talking about, this is the train station, people. This is where Rip, when he was like, "Oh, you want to go to the train station? Come on, get in the car, let's go." This is the dumping ground. This is where all the bodies are.
If I remember correctly, we always see the train station at night, do we not?
He always said he was going to the train station. There was a real train station. They never really went to that.
No, but I'm saying, like, it was always at night, is what I'm saying. I don't.
Oh yeah. No,
light.
He never went during the day. He never went during the day.
But he knows exactly what it is. And
oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
And
it's funny. I love that scene because he looks over at Kayce. He's like, "Oh, Dutton, so you know," and he's looking. You're making it pretty obvious that you do know, because he could have just said, "No, I haven't heard about it."
Yeah,
but he's like looking down and looking around, like, Oh,
yeah, man. I'm glad they didn't call it the train station, because that was their word for it. And the Zone of Death actually makes sense. Now, again, there's no jurisdiction there. That's the reason why they would do stuff. Now, again, when it comes to the Marshals, they wouldn't have to worry about that. They can cross state lines. They can, they cross borders, so they don't have that jurisdiction where sheriffs, police officers, they're not going to do that. But again, this is one of those things that it is so close to the Yellowstone. They have to address it. And I think this was a good way of addressing it.
Yeah. That's interesting. Another interesting part is they decide, all right, we're going to go out there. We're going to go and do this and to go meet up, go to the exchange. But even at this point, Harry's throwing shade at Kayce, because Kayce's like, well, if there's a big meeting with the Aryans and with this this Latin gang, maybe we need more people. And he's like, oh, well, we got you. Cal says this is it. This is all we need then. I was like, oh boy, really? This is what we're going to, are we getting down that road? I mean, you would think if there's a big operation like this, then it's like, all right, how about just like, hey, we're going to have backup if you need it. They're going to be on standby, but we can't have too many approach the meeting ground, because then you're going to spook them, right? Because they do this during the day.
And Gifford is very passive aggressive towards Kayce.
Yeah.
Oh,
so they're in the car, right? We got the two cars going, but they also have the wagons in the back. They're pulling the horses. And they're like, what's up with the horses? I was like, oh, this is how we're going to get closer. Is this what we're going to get for the remaining of the season? Instead of just that they just tow the horses wherever they have to go, instead of just getting on the horses? I don't know. In my mind, I'm thinking Walker, Texas Ranger, get on the horses. You
Well,
know,
it's
it's
gonna
like,
depend on how far it's gonna take you to get there.
yeah.
Now horses get tired.
I
Horses
know,
get tired.
I get it, but I mean, these are the same people that took a helicopter, over to a house, a compound that was out in the woods. They would definitely would have,
That is true.
yeah, they would have definitely heard that. But anyway, while they're driving, there's another key moment here because we got Andrea driving, we got Miles shotgun, and we got Kayce in the back, and now he's quiet. Right, he was all chitter chatter before, but now he's quiet, and we're trying to figure this out.
Has he all been chitter chatter?
I feel like
He's
he
always
has.
been known as more of a quiet guy.
Oh no, yeah. But when they got all together and stuff, I feel like he was talking. But you know what? Let's play this.
That's where it's pointed. Even if it's the last place you want to be.
So you do know this place?
Just there's a lot of unknowns.
Probably got enough of those in your life. Do you really not know where your brother Jamie is?
Just throwing it out there. She just learned about that in the last episode, and I guess maybe she looked it up. Because remember she didn't know anything about the Duttons. Belle had to fill her in on all this, but I guess she did some homework, and now she wants to try to crack this case.
This makes me feel like this to me is Harry Gifford, their boss, basically saying, "Hey, Andrea, you want out of this? Give me some answers."
Oh, you think it's a plant? You think she's in on it? This is really Harry talking.
And that's something, again, like, his father was murdered allegedly, right? I think that was. Well, they said it was a cold case, but I don't think it was a cold case.
No, there was a lot. No,
it was. I thought wrapped up pretty well. Now, Jamie just disappearing, that's fine, but again, like whether or not he knew or not, like that's going to throw you off because like she just turns around and says, "Oh, you're gonna tell me you don't know if Jamie's alive or dead." And then she says something like, "At least when my dad died, we knew."
Yeah.
Like, she's very rude and very cold about it.
Very rude. Yeah, it's like I was like, "Man, who are you? You know what? Stop the car. I'm out. I'm getting out of it. I don't need this shit. I'm out of this. I mean, run your mouth on me. You don't know my family." But I would have got mad. But anyway, they get to the location. They get on horseback, right? They're all lined up. All right, here we go. Let's get to our spots.
Here's the issue. Andrea didn't even know how to ride a horse, really.
No. That's
we know
there
Belle could. We know Belle could because she chased down after Kayce.
You see, but that's what I'm saying. It's like she didn't know any of this stuff about the horse, but she's on the horse. They're all on the horses. Yay, they're overlooking. It looked like high up. Good thing that no one else is paying attention because it's pretty obvious if you see a whole group of people.
We didn't say anything about this, but it was bothering me. Like they're right there in eyesight.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. That's like whatever. It's a cool shot. I get what they're going for, but man. Some of this. I'm telling you, there's people in the comments. They're like, "This is why I'm not watching this damn show." It's like, oh man, it's like too obvious with some of this. But hey, they overlook the location. They see what's going on. They're like, all right, let's get in position. They get in position. We find out there was like 3 trucks that show up. We're like, okay, this is it, right? This is the Royals that are there first. Then 2 SUVs show up. Everyone's getting in position. I couldn't understand why Belle was getting so close. What was the reason for her to get so close? As she kept moving closer and closer. I'm like, you have a good view already.
No, they were trying to put a tracker on it.
That's what it was. Because I do remember they said that they were going to wait. They didn't want to engage. The plan was to wait for the transaction and then go after. Because they think it's all about drugs, right? They're like, yeah, we're just gonna get the drugs. I don't understand that either. I was like, if you have them all in one spot, why don't you just bust them? You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, this is it. Just
because it's a bigger operation.
Yeah, hey, that's Harry's job. He's the big boss. He should have had everybody ready.
It's not the Marshal's job.
No,
this is ATF.
That's what I'm saying. Get ATF involved because the FBI or whatever told them about this.
They discussed it. They said something about the ATF not being able to get there. The ATF and the FBI weren't able to get there in time, so they're on their own for this. Now, this is not normally what the Marshals do.
Okay.
My understanding is Marshals track down fugitives. They transport fugitives. They do other things.
Yeah.
Clearly, this is where the lines I think are being drawn on what Marshals actually are. Which is fine. Again, it's a TV show, right?
TV show. Exactly.
and sit back.
Just put it around. They mean this
So that's what
much.
she was doing. She was going to get the track so then the ATF can follow. Now, again, she worked with the ATF, so she would understand what it is. She'd have knowledge in what it is that they really want done.
So we see that it looks like the drugs change hands, but there's no money that changes hands. And they're like, what's going on here? What's happening? And then we see another car show up and a guy gets out, starts walking. And then this is when I think it was Cal that recognized that. He was like, oh, there's a bomb. This is bigger. This isn't just drugs.
So this is where I'm kind of an issue. Clearly, they're storm chasers. We all saw Twister. That is what they were putting in the back, not a bomb.
Oh man, really?
Bunch of ping pong balls in it.
Yeah, sorry about that. Did you see the second one? The second one also had a lot of the ping pong balls.
I did not.
No, don't worry about it. You didn't miss much. No, but so that's what you. Well, we definitely know something happened because then it blew up. But it looks like that's what's going on now. We find out later on more to the story that this was a transaction with the bomb and other stuff. It wasn't so much of the drugs, right? But still, Bella's in a bad spot. They're trying to figure things out. Miles is in a bad spot because there's a rattlesnake next to him now, and he really reacts because he's like, this thing is up. It's getting ready to attack. He's like, I'm kind of stuck in a spot right now. They're like, hey, you're covering her. What's going on? They're getting closer. It's a tension moment, and then shots fired. Right? I think it was Andrea. Did she take the first shot? Somebody took the first shot. Right? Who shot?
It was Kayce actually.
Kayce took the shot. Okay.
Kayce comes in. Did he kill the rattlesnake?
He did. He came in afterwards when he was trying to get to Miles.
Now remember, it's been a while. I just recently caught up on Yellowstone. Remember, Peter, she had that rattlesnake on her chest. And then there's like 2 or 3 rattlesnakes.
Oh, they were all underneath them. They were like the whole camp of them, full of rattlesnakes.
Yeah. So, and later on, we actually hear Miles talk about not killing the rattlesnake and everything.
Yeah.
But again, someone's about to, catch her, and then the firefight breaks out.
Yeah. There we go. And it's pretty lengthy. A lot of shooting. Stuff going on. The guy that was with the truck gets in the truck and takes off. Cal notices, tells Kayce, hey, you got to go find him. You got to go track that down. Like, okay.
Quickly before this, there was a lot of foreshadowing, or there is foreshadowing because she counts how many people there are.
11. Yes. It's good. Yep, you're right. Yeah, that was a good catch right there for that because that comes up. It comes up later on. Yeah. So he takes off. Cal gets over to where Miles is, takes out the rattlesnake. The whole thing says, hey, we got to get down there. We got to take care of this. She's hiding now under one of the trucks. 2 guys are walking, and one grabs her. I don't know how he knew she was under there, but I don't know.
It's not that hard. I mean, he's probably low. He's probably not trying to get shot. And there's probably marks all over.
It's probably, he's like, what is that smell? Or something, who knows what's going on. But anyway, he pulls her out from under and it doesn't even have time to react because Andrea drops both of them. Right, that's it. They're done. Right, that's cool. So they get that part.
But Cal has sent Kayce on his horse after the 2 SUVs that have the bomb.
One SUV has the bomb. The other one, who knows? There's just some jabronis in there. And you brought it up because what we saw, whoever did watch this with us, Kayce only stops one of these.
Yeah, SUVs. I'm like, where'd the other one go? Like,
he's and first of all, I'm sure a lot of people like, come on now. There's no way a horse is going to catch up to an SUV. But again, he knows the land. He does a shortcut, right? He does
that. Is where I would around. That is where I would disagree, only because it's not. I mean, they're not driving down the highway. They have to take roads. The horse doesn't have to. Again, anyone remember Commando? They pull the plug off his car, and he just goes straight down, right?
Yeah.
Same concept, right? He's taking shortcuts, and he doesn't catch up to it after that. He ends up, because it has to wind around.
It's a pretty long chase. And I even wrote that down. Long chase, because it was a lot of back and forth. Then he even stopped at one point, and then he did turn around. And I think that's when he realized, because wherever they were at, they probably have to spiral down. And he just figured out there's a faster way to get in front of them, which is what he's doing. Takes out his gun, takes some shots. Of course, the 3rd shot is the one that works. He wasn't aiming for the tires, wasn't aiming for the driver. He was aiming for the bomb, and it goes kaboom. We get an explosion. There we go. SUV off the map. At least one of them. Right. And where's the other one? We don't bring that up. Right. That's it. That doesn't come up.
They do mention it later on.
Yeah, later on. That's what I'm saying. But right here, it's like I really thought once he was
they
done
don't
with
say
this,
anything about it.
No. But you know what? Does it really matter? This was it, right? It was to get the bomb. And this is what we think of him going, was it not rogue, but that he was in for himself. Remember, they made this mentioning reference Cal and Harry later on. Andrew sort of saying, I think this is it, because they probably figured that he should have just stopped the SUV instead of blowing it up, which makes no sense. You weren't there. You don't know what he had to do for this. You know what I mean? What if they were shooting at him?
He didn't have a sniper rifle.
Yeah.
So, he's using a lever action gun, which I don't know why he get a lever action gun that he blows it up. But he doesn't use the M4 that he had, right? And it looks like he tried shooting out the tires a couple times. Then it was like, we just need to stop the bomb because we're never going to catch up to it.
Yeah. So he goes down there. One of the guys is crawling out, and he's still alive. He's like, "Oh, I'm hurt. I need help." He's like, "Yeah, I'm not gonna have any help. This is it. Your party's over. You're gonna die here. It's gonna be slow."
He's a big shard of glass hanging out.
Yeah. He's messed up, But then we see that this is where, Kayce takes out his other sidearm there and just kills him.
Yeah, because he's like, "You're already dead."
Yeah,
and
you're already dead.
He's kind of like, "I don't even care. Like, even if you weren't, I'm not going to help you." But
exactly,
you're already dead.
Yeah.
And I even said to you, I'm like, I don't think Marshall's allowed to do that. But this was done for a specific.
It's his first day on the job. He doesn't know all the rules, Lawrence. He doesn't know. Remember, he's a Navy SEAL. He's like, I shoot to kill. He was a bad guy. Oh, I'm supposed to take him in. I don't even know how to read Miranda rights. I don't know this stuff. Come on now. I wasn't in the
This is all done for one reason, so we can once again explore the train station. Yep. Once he shoots him, they're going to be like, "Well, why did you shoot him at point blank range?"
Oh, they would.
And he was just putting the guy out of his misery. He was putting the guy out of his misery.
Yeah. Did you think that's what was going to happen? You thought he was going to explain why he did it?
I didn't even know what I was thinking because it happened so quickly.
Exactly. That's what I was like. Oh, at first I was like, damn, that's kind of cold blooded because they did a far off shot just so we could see it. And then in that moment, I just pictured mine justified, pops up.
We don't know how far away the train station is. Like, is it right there? Were they right there?
I would think it would have to be en route because then if people are in the car with Rip, they would be like, this isn't the direction. This isn't the same path.
He kind of just drags the guy there. Like, and then, I mean, all those, again, especially Callie's a Navy SEAL, he should have been able to look and be like, why are there track marks going here? Did he cover them up?
No.
And then he dumps them over.
Throws them down the hill, and that's where all the other bodies are.
Yeah, and it's basically to hide that he shot the guy. And again, it was a mercy kill, right? I think we all can agree with that.
I don't think so. I don't think it was a mercy. I think it was like he saw too much. And if he was still there and then everybody else shows up, then there would be a whole investigation.
You could have taken that shard of glass and just stuck it in him a little bit further.
He doesn't want to get his hands dirty, I guess. Get DNA and all that stuff. Here, now the body's gone. What happened to him? Oh, he ran off. He got scared. I shot it. It blew up. The dude went running. Who knows? But anyway, right, we get to the HQ. Everyone's there. They're talking about the mission. And this is where we get all the off-camera talk. Oh, yeah, the local police caught the other Aryans, and they found out everything that they were going to do. They were going to go kill some, politician or something, right? Some mayor, senator.
They referenced the Oklahoma bombing.
Did they say that?
They reference that it could have been what?
Oh, it could have been. Yeah. But they were definitely up to no good. They were going to do.
And again, if you're younger, you may not remember what the Oklahoma bombing is.
Yeah.
I would say look up
Timothy McVeigh and all that. Yeah, that was something, man. That was
from Michigan. Thank God. There went your Michigan militia connection that you asked me.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah, it was the Michigan militia.
That's what I was figuring because they talked about that. But we get Harry comes in and starts asking about how did it all go, and they said this whole thing, and then Andrea, says, "Oh well, everything was great until Kayce went on his own to do his thing." Oh, what? He went in business for himself? What is he doing?
Okay, so I'm confused about that because did Cal not tell Kayce to go get him?
He did. He did. That's why I don't understand, and I'm thinking it had to be more of they wanted him alive, maybe. they figured, hey, the policy is you capture these people, you don't kill them. As you saw even before, when Miles and Cal ran down, when there were still some guys there, they threw a flashbang, right? You noticed that, and they didn't kill them, but then they killed the other one before. But whatever.
Well, Marshals also wouldn't have real grenades; they'd have flashbangs.
Yeah. So that's the only thing. Hey, people, if you made it this far, just let us know. Was that what they were pissed about? That he killed, blew up the car? They wanted evidence, or they're like, hey, you should have just killed the driver. We need to see the bomb, and maybe there was more intel documents inside. I don't know, but she brought that up, and Harry was running with it. He's like, oh, you see, I knew it. There's something going on. Why is he doing all this stuff? And then Cal's like, no, it wasn't like that at all. It wasn't like that at all. He didn't run roughshod on me. He wasn't trying to go in business for himself.
Yeah, but Gifford's all happy that the CIA and the FBI and the ATF are all like, kissing his ass right now because they did their job for them. But so
so it was nuts. But then we get a Cal and Kayce scene. Kayce, I guess, is in the back now. I want to throw him back at the gym area. Because it looked like he was, just whatever watching him. And he comes in and he was like, "Oh yeah, what you sort of froze out there. Yeah, you different." I didn't notice that. I didn't notice this. I mean,
I didn't either.
You know what I mean? It's anything. You talk to Miles about freezing. That I didn't understand.
He went right down to save Miles because Miles didn't even want to say that there was a rattlesnake because he didn't want them. Again, the same way Teeter was. She didn't want to say anything because the sounds. I don't know if that gets.
Yeah. I don't know because there was a scene real quick with in the same area there where Miles was talking to Kayce and Kayce was like, "Oh, because this is his first kill," and he was like, "Yeah, well, this is part of the job. It's gonna stick with you. Sorry, but you took the job. Come on now. I mean, I'm still surprised by all that because they were questioning Casey's credentials with all this stuff being former Navy SEAL, but yet you bring in Miles who has made it open. It's not a secret. He's never killed anyone. And I don't think it should be part of your job, but when you're in this level, there's a good chance you're going to be putting somebody down.
Yeah. And, again, when you look at Belle was part of the ATF. Yeah. She was undercover. And that's why she kind of moved. I don't remember what Andrea's, what her background was. But yeah, you have someone that was on the res who, again, he was a police officer on the res. So I don't know.
Well, whatever. Kayce goes home. He says, Tate, how was your day? It was fantastic. Everything was great, Oh, and I fixed that fencing issue with for the wild stallion, which is crazy because, well, where did you bring the stallion when you caught it? Because
probably stables.
I guess so. Right there you go. All right, good. See, there you go. You fill in all the blanks. You're filling in all the blanks. I'm writing this down. He filled in the blanks. All right, so you put him in the stable because Tate was like, "Why'd you come home late?" It's like, first off, there's a good chance I may not come home some days. You're working out, doing Marshal stuff, and you're
I was a little confused on that.
It's not a 9 to 5. You know what I mean? It's like you punched out an hour ago. What the hell? Who's making my mac and cheese? It's like, but again, this is where Tate says, "Hey, I still haven't found my new beginning," and he says, "You'll find it." I fill this in then. You know all the answers now. What is he looking for? What new beginning? Last we really saw he was complaining about the protesting and all this stuff, the toxins.
Well, I think that Tate, it seems like Tate decided he does not want to be a rancher.
Yes.
But now see, this went back to the end of Yellowstone, and we talked about it last episode. I'm like, wait a minute. I thought that they had already discussed. That was one of the things that Kayce talked to Tate and said, hey, if you don't want, this has to be you have to want this. I didn't want this. I kept coming back. And he was like, what are you going to do? And he's like, I will do whatever you want to do.
Yeah, whatever you want. Well, kids change their mind all the time.
And then, fast forward to Marshals, and they're running a ranch.
Yeah, the ranch. But, so either way, don't worry. Oh, by the way, I saw Grandfather. And they're gonna do some kind of memorial for people. And we want to have a mom's necklace, our favorite one. Do you have that? He's like, oh, I'll find it. Yeah. All right, good. Thanks.
But before that, he talked about the secrets, and he mentioned how and I think this is what we're gonna see at least through this season. Now, depending on how many seasons they get, the Yellowstone
Oh,
starts.
this is gonna have like 10 to 20 seasons. This is gonna be a fantastic show. The
Yeah.
numbers are gonna go through the roof. This will be the big test, though. Honestly, we saw it was like almost 10 million views. CBS reported for the first episode. Let's see how that goes for this one. But continue.
But yeah, like the Yellowstone store has its secrets, except he didn't call them the secrets. I forget what he called them. But anyway, he walks out here and he has the necklace with him, and clearly that's like his good luck charm.
Landmines. He called them landmines. That's it. They have landmines. Because that's what the other thing he was telling Cal, that he did sort of freeze up out there. He was like, "Oh, I'm dealing with the ghost, my family's ghost. I can't let it go." And it's like, at this point, then just tell him.
But they asked him specific questions that would make anyone be like,
yeah.
Think about that one.
Yeah. But in this scene, we see he's outside just overlooking the land, and he pulls out his pocket. He has a necklace. And you said it. He's like, he should have just say, "Hey, I got it right here." But
he's like, yeah, they want to have a memorial for mom, and they want her favorite necklace. Do you know where it's at? That's when he says, "Hey, Yellowstone has a lot of landmines or something, and I've had enough for the day. I'll look for." All you had to do was say, "Hey, I keep it here. It is my good luck charm. And yes, when the memorial comes up, we can use it." Or no, I need to keep it with me. I feel it's. I don't know why.
Many words. They probably felt they wanted this scene. They wanted this quiet scene of him alone taking it out. Like, she's always with me with this. So, or he could have just said, "You know what? Yeah, maybe I'm not ready to give that up. Got to go." But hey, anyway, they head off to the bar. At least not them, but the team. They're always hanging out here. We got a live performance, right? We got someone on stage playing acoustic. Who knows? I'm sure somebody knows. Just like I said with Jelly Bean, Jelly Roll. I see Jelly Bean. I see. I'm not editing that out. Okay. Jelly Roll was in Tulsa King. Who knows? Maybe this person is a famous singer. We don't know, right? So anyway, they're there. Andrea is hanging out with Cal. She's still talking smack about the whole thing with Kayce, but then the bartender comes over, said, "Here's another beer." It's like, "Oh, this guy doesn't give up." You know what? I don't trust that guy then, because he's hanging out at the bar all the time. Don't trust him. Don't trust him. If the guy's always there, something's wrong. If he doesn't work there, I don't trust it. But then again, it is one of those areas, and maybe this is where everyone goes to unwind at the end of the day. So whatever. But Kayce was like, "Hey, you know what? He's persistent. What are you gonna do? You're gonna just give him a shot." He's
basically telling her, "Hey, listen, you're here. Rather than be a bitch, pardon my language here.
Yeah.
Be nice. Maybe you'll find someone, or maybe you'll just have a night of fun. Who knows?"
Yeah, and he says, "I'm going to tell you more Navy SEAL stories." She doesn't want to hear it. So then she's like, "All right, fine." She goes over. She sees the guy.
No. He tells that to the waitress or the bartender when she comes over.
No.
No.
Yeah, because she.
That's right. He does say it, and then he says it to. Then he says the bartender
to sit down if you have a minute to talk. But yeah, so we'll get into. So she walks over to the guy. It's Andrea, and they start doing a little more flirty stuff, and then she just kisses him. She was like, "You know what? All right, whatever." She kisses him. They're on the same page now with all this. I still think something shady is going to happen here. I think it's a setup. I think he's a bad guy. If it was Taylor writing this, yes, that guy would be a killer, and it would go in a whole dark path. I don't know if we're going to get that here. I don't know. I don't think this is going to be enough for her to stay, because one of the issues that she had when she was sitting with Cal was that she was upset that she didn't get her kudos for finding out the info of the meeting and setting this whole thing in motion. Instead, Cal gave all the praise to Kayce, but as I mentioned, that is incorrect, because when they were in HQ, Harry knew that Andrea obtained that information from the interrogation because she said it. He was like, "Oh, Andrea got some info. Andrea, tell us what you got." And it's like, "Oh, this is the meeting." So he knows. So I don't understand this whole, I didn't like that you gave praise. And it was like, well, he did find the bomb, and but he wasn't supposed to do it that way, and blah, 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 blah. But anyway, that's we'll see. Again, this is one of those things. The bartender comes over, does a little flirty small talk. That's where Cal was like, "Hey, you want to sit down? We talking?" "I don't got time for this. Can't do it. It's going to take more than a minute to tell you all my stuff." And then she goes to work. But she could have just said, "I get off at X amount of time." You know what I mean? Just throw the clock. She doesn't. So who knows where this is going to go. And then just when you think, oh, then that's it, it's done. Belle walks over. Now she's there. Like, hey, what are you doing here? Is your family in town? Because I don't think we even brought that up, but that was something that happened
Oh yeah,
at the
we didn't bring it up.
HQ, right? Right. We didn't bring it up that her son and husband showed up.
Yeah,
And it was like, yeah, when she was part of the other department, it was a more traditional time. And
yep.
she was, this is not that way. So they
And
didn't
very
really know.
apologetic to Cal.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he brings it up. He's like, no, I don't have a problem with it at all. Now I keep thinking that they're going to
Oh,
have
no.
Cal and her maybe have had a
Oh,
relationship.
no.
At first I thought Belle was like kind of hitting on Kayce. So I don't know. Who knows?
Well,
I'm okay with not always having a love story.
you mean with Kayce? You think Belle with Kayce?
Or no,
I thought maybe with Cal.
But when she came in and was talking to Cal, I was kind of like, ooh, boy. And then it kind of took a little swerve. But that's basically it.
Yeah, well, she's rather have a drink right now, And then also we found out that she didn't tell her husband that she got shot. That was another thing, right?
That's one of those
You don't
things
need to tell. They don't say everything. You're okay. It didn't seem like she had broken ribs or anything. Probably a bruise. If he sees it, when you're in bed, then you bring it up. But it looks like that didn't happen. And she said, no, at this moment, I'd rather just have a drink, and we'll just hang out here and start drinking. And I think that was it.
I don't think until there's a hole in you don't have to tell your significant other that you've been shot. When there's a hole in you, then it's time.
Yeah. But that was pretty much it. From that scene and from the scene with Kayce at the house with the wife's necklace. It's like, okay, all right. So our thoughts, it's the best show ever. We love this show. It gets a 12 out of 12. No, I don't think so. It is what it is. It's still early, but I don't think anyone should be surprised. This was definitely going another direction. Yes, take the Trailor element out of it with the writing. It's very noticeable. Okay, but once I heard Marshall, I thought, oh, action. This is gonna be an action show. That's it. I'm thinking, the Texas Walker Texas Ranger. I'm thinking Justified. I'm thinking of action of the week. You know what I mean? Like every week they're gonna. Yeah.
You know my feeling. If it goes in the path of Justified, I'm all over it because that's one of my favorite shows.
Yeah. And this is it. People want. We get it. We love Taylor Sheridan's work. We cover a bunch of his shows on this channel. But this is a little something different. Now, could it be garbage? It could be. It's still early. We don't know. They're still trying to feel things out. We see like how they're developing Kayce and a little wishy-washy. It's like it's for people that know the Yellowstone universe and for people that don't. I don't know. I'll tell you this much. I had a buddy of mine who doesn't know all that stuff. He just heard about Marshals and he likes cowboys and he walks. And you know what he told me? He's like, "This is an awesome show. I hope you guys are covering it. This is great." And I'm like, I sent him a message. I said, "Hey, go check out the comments." And he's like, "Are these guys smoking crack? What is wrong with them? They don't see the quality here."
I feel like this is a show for the people that watch CBS shows. As most of you know, as well as I've mentioned, I think I love Blue Bloods, and now there's Boston Blue. Now I'm a little behind, but I've watched again. I've said before, watching Blue Bloods, like, why does anyone get involved with the Reagans? All right, they're the only cops that shoot in New York. All right, SEAL team, I really like. Now that's more realistic in the fact that a SEAL team will be in firefights. But again, you have SWAT, and then you have
NCIS and all that stuff.
All these different things. It's like, are there?
Then they have a Y50. Then they reboot that. Right?
They did the Magnum.
Yeah,
so
the Magnum.
In my opinion, this is in the vein. They got the Fire Country now. So this is really in the vein of CBS dropping a show of their style into the Yellowstone.
That's universe, it. They just format it, and I think that's what people are angry.
Yeah, but using an established character. Maybe if they didn't use Kayce and they said, "Hey, this is just in the Yellowstone universe," and every now and then they're going to.
That would have worked better, I think, if they would have just said, "Hey, like you said, in the universe they have somebody, and it's like, oh, there's a marshal and from the land," but they really want to have that connection with the family. I think that's why they did it.
But you instantly kill off Monica, and there was such a wonderful story at the end of Yellowstone, and then not to have her here.
Yeah.
I think people look at it and they think, hey, it's tainted what Yellowstone meant to me.
Yeah. And then I don't know, are they done with that? Is that it? That story is like all the toxins and this and that, and there was that shooting, and
No, I think we're gonna
Thomas
see
is
more.
okay, and
We'll see more. I mean,
we'll see.
That was brought in all the way back into Yellowstone. So
yeah. Oh, well, hey, what do you think, people? When you made it this far, fantastic. Thank you. We appreciate it. Thanks for the likes, the subs, the hypes, the all the other shenanigans that the YouTube likes to pull off. Thank you for all of it. We know a lot of people jumped in to check this show out because they probably weren't planning on watching it. We saw a lot of those comments also. But hey, if you plan on watching it, if not, either way, come check us out. We're talking about it. We're gonna stick with this and see what happens. And let's see if it works out. Who knows? It could surprise all of us.
Yep, I hope so.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping. All right, everybody. Well, we'll see you next week. Peace.
Take care.